Okay. All right. Okay. Hello. How are you? This is one of those little quick videos that I wanted to share with you today. Today is November 19th. Today is a significant day because it's the first day of a new 20-year cycle, approximately 20-year cycle. Because the way I work with the planets is kind of like how we work with the moon, right? So there are phases of the moon. We can rely on the moon phases for the moon's 28-day cycle, right? And if you're a woman, you're very intimate with that cycle and what it feels like and what happens within the cycle, and that we are human beings, and there are times for rest, there's time for recovery, there is time to do, there's time to effort. How do you sense into the rhythms of being a part of a planet, being a part of a whole ecosystem of nature and other creatures that you get to share on this planet. So when you have a planet like Pluto that's really far away and takes, a really long time to orbit the sun, 243 years, I think. It's like something approximately like that. I did a whole thing on Pluto during my September forecast because Pluto really wanted me to spend the time like with those giant times, like those are long cycles, you know what I mean? And so really wanted to be present of like, okay, this time in the 1700s, what was going on? Are there any similarities? Like, could there possibly be an energetic frequency that we do kind of feel? And then is our consciousness able to elevate and move through into the next, um, time and space rather than repeating history and continuing to be at war with ourselves instead of being at peace. So the planets tend to spend some time with some, it's like chatting to like with a very old grandma, you know what I mean? Sometimes the lessons are very like, okay, we're going to tell you very directly, like what's going on. And then sometimes it's like, okay, grandma, I guess I'll understand that later, but I'm just kind of okay, like I'll take the notes, That was kind of with my experience with Pluto because there is so much that happened before I was really born and also before I was fully conscious or on even a spiritual journey. So it's like since 2008 until now, consciously speaking, like take a good like wow self-reflection moment with yourself. Are you doing your inner work? Like is that bringing you to some sort of peace within yourself? Are you feeling a sense of um inner care and love? Are you feeling really connected to this planet and your purpose and why your beautiful soul is here at this moment in time? Because I keep getting closer and closer to the screen, because you were born to be here at this time, right? That is something we cannot change. We can't be like, I wish I was born like in the, this era or that. Guess what? Maybe you were and you did a life back then, but the life that you are in is now, is present in 2024. And yes, all of those other things affect us and then affect us for years to come. So since 2008, it started with a collapse. It started with devastation, the financial collapse. And then from there, it has been different domino effects of both wonderful things that have happened and also terrible things that have happened. Now we're at a completion with that Capricorn energy, which can sometimes be, because it's so material world, it can be a bit aggressive. And it can also be a bit, it's not like Mars where it is about war, but it definitely has an authoritarian, very my way or the highway sort of situation. So for the last few years, maybe you've been around some people who are really having a hard time recognizing that they were not necessarily in their power when they had power over people. Maybe they just had power over people. They didn't really have inner power and they were empowering the people around them. So there's like a little bit of like rebels and uh that kind of spirit kind of coming through of like, you can't tell me that. Or like, I say no, to that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Um, that sort of energy, very Aquarius, but also is about evolution. Because I think right now we're having the conversation is what is power and what is abuse, right? Like those are two very different things. Because someone who is in their power does not need to abuse another person, place, or thing in order to get their power, right? Or in order to feel more powerful. Like, because they don't have to take it from something or someone else in order to have it. They cultivate it within themselves, and it's called confidence and courage and purpose and development, and something that we have to practice, especially if we have any sort of beliefs about our worth, about ourselves, about, maybe we have to do some deep self-reflections. And yeah, we're not perfect. Yeah, there's going to be some things of like, oh, mm-hmm. Sit with it, be with it, ask yourself, have we learned from that? Would we like to do it? Would we do it differently? Would we like to do it? If we had the chance to do it, what would be our option? Like where would we have gone? We are human beings. We're learning. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you also have to have that self-reflection. So we're having that moment with Pluto and Capricorn. Really the past few weeks, if it felt a little tiring or slower, it's like the planet's literally like, I'm leaving, and like slow motion going into the next cycle and into the next. It's like completing a whole book, completing a whole 20-year cycle. So yeah, of course, like our bodies, minds, souls are going to be like aligning and maybe having moments with that energy and actually like maybe on our own terms, right? Like you don't even need to know that Pluto is leaving Capricorn and entering Aquarius, and that it has already happened and we have already begun. You don't even have to know the details. Do you feel any sort of energetic shift right now? Are you having any sort of stories come to the surface that you're seeing within yourself that you love, or you're like, oh my God, we need to change those inner stories? Like, that's not, well, we're not going that way, you know? This is a time where consciousness is starting to get like it's loosening, you know what I'm saying? The rigidity and the structure of Capricorn and, you know, do it because I said so sort of thing is starting to be in an Aquarius vibe. So we're going to really start moving into a consciousness uh, revolution consciously, right? A lot of people have been talking about consciousness, coaching, the new earth, like reprogramming yourself, rewiring, neuroplasticity, neurodivergent, um, all of this, like, I don't know how, I mean, it's not new, but it's like it's closer to like mainstream trending. People are closer to it, wondering, huh, how do I think? What is my mind like? What is my mind? I am not my mind. Oh my gosh, who said that? Like, what voice is that? Who says that? Is that my story? Like, we're starting to get intimate with what's going on inside, right? Because when we start to feel that, we can feel a bit exposed in our heart center if we're really going through some deep inner work. And we may feel like everyone can see it. And it's like, so it's just like, it's been what it is, right? But it's not always true. It's like, it's an internal experience that also can, um, like you don't know what people are up to. You don't know how people's minds are or what's really going on unless they tell you, right? And I think that's what I'm really, and even if they tell you this is what's going on inside or in their mind, Is it true? Does it line up with their actions and behaviors? I think right now there's been a lot of talk, and then there's been a lot of like, is that truth? Right? Just because it's talk doesn't mean that it's not true or it is true. What's true? Like, come on, facts. Like, what are the facts? You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a bit more of that and this revolutionary spirit that is just so like, it's like so ready. Like, it's been like, oh, I thought we were really like getting into it in 2016 and I was ready. You know what I'm saying? But that was just the like, that was the dress rehearsal. Wow. Okay. I definitely was hoping that was like it. But if that was the dress rehearsal and now we're really going in, you know, what are the tools? What have you learned? What's like, what have you really admired about yourself and have really been like, okay, if we do these things and we move forward and we help ourselves in this way, oh man, it's going to be so much better. You know, like then whatever it was, you know what I mean? If you moved, like there's been people who moved many times since all of that time. So do you feel the Aquarius kind of being like new stories, you know, like change it up, like I'm an Aquarius. Okay. So I'm bringing the energy like straight to you. I'm like giving you a lot of Aquarius right now. Um, and, and, and maybe I'm not. Maybe that isn't Aquarius at all. You don't know. There's some of that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, the goal is to stay within your truth, within yourself. If there are people around you who are getting fooled by things that are not real, I mean, I don't know. I know what we're supposed to do at this point, besides reiterating the facts, you know, bringing people to earth, helping them come back to themselves, feeling calm, and that they do have a moment of like if there's any spiraling happening, okay, let's just be here for a second. Some people just want to, okay? Some people are going to want to freak out and they're going to want to use this as an energetic refueling. But it is not, my friend, it is not. That is the trick, right? The treat is if you say, ah, yes, I'm just gonna, all right, like let me just stay clear. All right, where are we going? One step at a time. And we feel that the moment we think, oh, well, what if I just like start like freaking out a little bit? It might give me some energy. Or like maybe I'll just start getting a little scattered or I'll procrastinate just a little bit to give myself something to do. I need a little fire under my, you know, like to get things done. No, right? We have to like generate that within ourselves, right? So if you are having any sort of procrastination happening right now, I really encourage you to reach out to someone. Ask them to help you. Be your accountability partner. Hire a coach, right? Don't get stuck in this. Don't loop. Don't keep looping. You know what I'm saying? Get out of yourself. Like sometimes you got to be in yourself, and sometimes you got to get out of yourself. Okay. So this is a time where you have to really have that conversation of, all right, we're here, we're here, we're here. Okay, be good, right? Okay, let's go. So let's spray a little balancing spray. Balance all that out for us. And let's just do a little bit of Palo Santo, the holy wood tree that is ethically purchased. And I only use a little bit at a time because I really value this beautiful, like we have access to all of these beautiful plants and herbs at this time. I just find that so amazing because back in the day, we'd have to forage. We'd have to find and forage, which, whoa, what a beautiful adventure to be able to be one with the earth like that and just know that there'd always be the plant that you're looking for and everything. And same with the crystals when like they would have like all the crystals and like if you had like certain crystals, it meant something, and they could feel the energy and the frequency and what the earth has been telling them because it takes so long for a natural crystal to occur. Like, so cool. We live on such a cool planet. And then all these awesome animals around, like also communicating with us, and elements like the fire, some air, water, sound, earth, spirit. Oh, like this is a really cool time to be alive because there we have the possibility. There is a true possibility to have an end of an era, right? An end of an era of systems, things that are really not working, and things that said that they were once dead and they are not, like misogyny and, taking women's rights away, basically, is what is happening. The overturn of Roe versus Wade, not giving women the proper health care that they need. No, 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 thanks. Equality when it comes to the LGBTQI plus community, when it comes to any sort of racial macro and microaggressions, white supremacy. So old, so gross, so sticky, and so no way. Okay. Like we are in like goodbye to that era. Like we are healing from the era because all our systems were drenched in it. So all those systems, they got to change, right? So when we ask that the plants are here with us, and so happy to do so, and we ask for their like full transformation and possibility to help us in all those areas, the benefits of like the spiritual benefit of Palo Santo, like if we activate all of that with all that we know now, wow, what an opportunity to be alive. And you could be on any side of the planet hearing this message from me. Like that's so cool. You can have your favorite healer, shaman, witchy vibe on the go, like that is so cool. Like that's where we're going, right? Elevating consciousness, helping people grow, helping people know that they can change, they can transform. It is possible. It will feel better. Like put down your weapons. You know what I'm saying? We are all suffering. We are all hurting. How can we help you? Let's help you, right? Let's help you feel better. You are not alone. And yeah, what else does this Palo Santo want to like tell us? Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Just being on this planet, really connecting with that planet of like, wow, we are on this planet. This is so cool. And yeah, because like Pluto's going into Aquarius and all of that, there may be more alien talk. There may be more talks of like, we're not alone. We're not the only ones on this planet, or we're not the only, alive creatures in this solar system. There's space is so vast. There's so many galaxies. There's so many stars. There's so many. Like so many, you know what I mean? But what about our planet? How's she doing? You know? How about our women and mothers and sisters and aunts and grandmas and cousins and friends and family members, you know, how are they doing? How are the ladies doing? This is for the women. This is for the women. We are healing not only toxic masculinity, but we are also healing toxic femininity. We talk a lot about like the feminine spirit and like it's divine feminine. Well, that also means we are going to face and need to heal the toxic feminine. And it doesn't always mean it comes through like a woman, you know what I mean? It what are you creating, right? If you're creating like if you're creating awful things in the world, you're creating any sort of wicked, evil things. Well, that's toxic. Okay. Like we say no, no. You know, our creative energy, we can create good, we can create nourishment, we can create food, we can create love, we can create friendship, peacefulness, things that will help, right? The oppressive energy that Capricorn has really had going is really no more, you know? And it's not just me, like, it's just what's happening, right? So Capricorn doesn't have as much control as it once felt like it did. So if there's different aspects in your life that you may feel a little like, oh, I don't like it when this happens or when I can't control this, what can you control? What does help you when you feel out of control? You know, have a little sound bath, you know, like get into the woo woo. You know what I'm saying? If you just need a second just to be with your soul, that is worth it. Okay. That will still pay you, you know? It doesn't all have to be this practical, materialistic work. Sometimes that inner work and coming to peace with yourself and having that personal development come through. Freedom, the freedom and the choices you make, you change whole trajectory, you know, of where you're gonna go in your world, you know. You want to heal the world, you heal yourself. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so it was like what, 20 minutes? That's what we get. That's what we get. Okay, so open this next new book with like your hopes and your dreams. You know what I'm saying? The next 20 years. Be with that. Be with that for a moment and say, wow, that's cool. I just finished a 20-year cycle. And now I am beginning a new one at this very moment. So, how would I like to begin? And with that, I will see you later. Okay?